Hello and welcome to another episode of JFC Hollywood and Friends. Between parentheses, not so many.
I like that.
And welcome. Sorry, I made a mess because I like to make a mess because I didn't take out the volume on the other link. So I'm Matteo. With me tonight we have Mauro for JFC Silicon Valley.
Hello.
David from JFC Hollywood.
Hey guys, how you doing?
And the same Giulio. Okay, if you want to.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Okay, so I did my homework today. I even send out an agenda. Okay, of course I didn't send to David and I didn't send to Mauro because I prepared the agenda and didn't send to anybody. Okay, so
you got half of it then.
Yeah, exactly. So we're still like a really amateur over here. So we try to do everything better. So Giulio, please take over me, and because I'm sending the link to somebody, so if they want to start watching the show with us.
Yes. All right. So the agenda, David, I just texted to you so you can take a look. It's going to be very busy tonight. We have like a few things to discuss. Let's start. I would say to start, and I'll start with Mauro because I know, he has a soft spot for the topic. Let's start with, the happy ending in a way after, the storm between Allegri and management. And, it looks like they found an agreement. What do you think happened? And what does it lead them after this?
I read there was one article with Gazzetta, which I don't know how much is true or not, that said that, originally there was an agreement that was reached and then Allegri backed out and then he was convinced by friends to resume it, or maybe it was Elkan that allowed the deal to happen. I still believe that it would have been better for both parties if it would not have come to the right justified reason for firing and then come to this after 2 days. I think both frankly looked amateurs, or you don't really know. I mean, the idea I got is that obviously it was a money play for Juventus. For Allegri, I don't know what it was. I'm glad that it ended this way because he can at least he can find another team, and at the end of the day, even on paper, he didn't get fired. And I'm curious to see where he will go next, but I'm glad at least that even they issued a revised press statement finally thanking him for actually what he's done for Juventus. Right. So I think that was a necessary correction that to me even highlight even more that the previous communication was, to me, very, very bad.
David, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to get it over with, right? We didn't want this to be something that was going to drag out in court forever. We all know that, except when it comes to us and sports-related items, Italian justice is very slow. So, I think it's just best for everybody that it's done and over with, and hopefully we can now move on and look forward to having a new coach and a new system and a new adventure.
You think it was worth it, all this back and forth for Juventus to save, I don't know how much they saved, 6-7 millions? The way they handled all of this, do you think it was worth it?
I mean, it's hard to say because who knows exactly what went on behind the scenes. I think it obviously goes back a ways before the Coppa Italia final. I mean, that was just kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, so to say. But, if you go back to the beginning of the year, Max never wanted Giuntoli to be there. I don't think Max was ever Giuntoli's choice. So, it doesn't look great. But on the other hand, when your coach does what he did, you don't really have a choice, right? I mean, you can agree or disagree with the statement that was sent out. Right. It wasn't the best, but I was listening to somebody today, and they actually brought up a good point, which is, yes, Max has done a lot for the for the team, and there were some extenuating circumstances with last year, obviously, but we've also never had a coach be brought back for a third year after 2 years of not winning anything.
Right.
So, I mean, it's an unfortunate situation, but it's a change, I think, at the end of the day that needed to happen. We've talked about it a million times before, and I think at the end of the day, whether you like Allegri or not, or whether you think the players are at fault or not, or what have you, it was clearly not a good fit between the two.
Right.
And so it's time to move on. This makes a clean break. We get it over with. And now, again, we can just kind of move on with our lives. And
I say
you know
this.
what? We save a little money, which is, I guess, nice. But I mean, I think that's kind of secondary, really, to everything else.
I say this, Matteo, just say the last thing about this topic, and I say we close the Allegri chapter once and for all. We don't talk about it anymore in the podcast ever again. I think it's been exhausted every angle. Let's just end it tonight, at least.
Well,
that
would be a dream. You already know that, and and let's turn the page. Let me say, because today, after something else come up, I guess everybody read what Milik said in the interview, that they were thinking that Max was leaving in the summer, and honestly, everybody know that this was his last year. As David was saying, Allegri wasn't chosen by Giuntoli, and Allegri didn't want Giuntoli, so the two basically they tried to get along for 1 year. The only thing that I would like to add is why the two person they didn't talk together. Okay, they say, okay, guys, Max, you're gonna stay as the coach for this year. Okay, it's mandatory for us to get a Champions League spot. Okay, try to get as far as we can in the Coppa Italia. Okay, and then we part ways. That's it. So I had no idea why they had to say, no, we're going to talk about a new contract, maybe an extension, and then at the end of the day, he was doing something else. So I think it was not necessary. It should have ended better, okay? But I'm tired already, all the circus that was created around there. So let's turn the page, okay? And let's talk about the future, okay? If we can, so.
Yeah, speaking of future.
Wait a second. I need to open a parenthesis, guys, here.
Please.
I can take it over now. I'm the boss in there. Okay.
Please.
Okay. So, tomorrow, today in Italy, because in Italy it's already Wednesday, okay, it's Conte Day in Napoli. So Conte will be announced as appointed as a new coach in Napoli. We already see the picture between Conte and De Laurentiis going around. Okay, so I don't know what you think. I think it's gonna be funny. Honestly, in some way, it's gonna be funny. I can't believe that De Laurentiis actually is paying him at 6.5 million euro plus bonuses. Okay, and yes, I know that the rumors and the jokes are like how long that we get together. The point is this, to me, I don't know. I say this is the last chance for Conte, but Conte cannot screw this up, because if he's gonna leave off here or he's gonna leave at the end of the year, like fighting as he's always fought at the end of his previous experience with Juventus, with Chelsea, with Inter, and with Tottenham, it's not gonna have another job. So I don't see how he can. So I wish him good luck. I hopefully he's gonna get like a 5th, 6th every year. Okay, and that's it. I don't know what you guys think. So I'm gonna start with David this time.
Well, I think it was fitting that in the picture of De Laurentiis and Conte there was Padre Pio in the middle. But aside from that, I think at the end of the day, I think we all know that Napoli was probably Conte's third choice. Right. Obviously, he would have done anything to go back to Juve, which wasn't an option. His second choice probably would have been to go to Milan. And then once he realized that, that's not there, to your point, this was kind of his last chance. But I mean, I don't know, really. It's one of those things. It seems like a strange partnership. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying anything you guys don't already know and feel, but it seems like a very strange partnership, and one that's either going to work really well or going to be a flaming disaster. And for the Neapolitan show sake and me, I hope it's the flaming disaster.
That would be that what we're dreaming, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really feels like one of those things that's kind of inevitable at some point. Conte won't see the panettone. I'm wondering if Conte will make it out of training camp, but that's a different story. Since he has experience with leaving teams in the middle of training.
Yeah,
camp.
in July,
right? Giulio?
Yeah, I mean, after Inter, he can do worse. So, to me. So honestly, I mean, I don't think this is his last chance, like you say. I mean, he has proven to be an excellent coach. He's proven to know how to win. He won with us with I think a weaker team than Napoli is now. So he could might as well win and wouldn't be surprised. But Inter gotta go to sleep for half of the season, and we don't know what we're doing. So honestly, in all honesty, I like it. Because it's laying out, the basis for an interesting year. With us, with the new coach, with Inter thinking they already won next year, with Napoli now with Conte thinking that they won, with Roma that they think always win in August already. So that's like an interesting lineup. How do you say la partenza, the start line, right? So I'm actually excited. I'm curious. I don't care about Conte anymore. To me, he was dead after he did what he did. And now he can do whatever he wants as long as it doesn't come back to us.
Mauro?
I was actually hopeful if he would have come back. I remember the one picture with De Laurentiis and Ancelotti with the back against each other, mimicking the 007, which was very cinematic. I'm actually enjoying. I think it's going to be enjoyable fireworks between the two of them. The one thing I think that can make Conte dangerous is that Napoli has no European commitments this year.
That's perfect for him.
That trains and goes about physical play and aggressive play. He certainly has the time to build that. And it will be interesting to see if Napoli sells the best players, Kvaratskhelia to PSG or Osimhen, to see what type of team, because I can't imagine Conte would sign in a team that they're going to sell his best players. I don't know that. But
Well, I think Osimhen is gone, by the way. I think at least Osimhen is already gone.
If they're offering 130 million,
I think
it's a no-brainer.
Kvaratskhelia too, I mean, right?
100 million, another no-brainer.
But then would Conte sign on a team that sell both stars without replacing them with anybody else? Seems hard to believe, but we'll see.
Lorenzo.
Oh, Lore. Yeah, I mean, he must have assurances from
Right.
De Laurentiis, because, I mean, he has been if not a top coach, but a coach with the top salary for a long time. So this is like 1/3 of what he was getting at Tottenham.
Yeah, but he's only going to work for 6 months. So when you figure the salary that way, he's actually getting paid like double what he usually gets paid.
I'm gonna say I don't know, and guys, I'm always wrong. So basically I'm always wrong. But if he screwed this up, who's gonna call him?
A team that one day needs like a strong-headed coach, somebody that puts everybody in line. Like Manchester United this year, I'm surprised they didn't get him. They need somebody like Conte. They're like completely lost at sea.
Okay.
So you never know what happens. You never know.
Yeah. Let's go back to us. Oh no, wait, another parenthesis. Guys, we need to talk about that. Marotta, new president of the team with the black and blue stripes. So you know what? It was funny because today when I woke up, I see a tweet for a Milan account. Okay, and he was making fun of him, and he said, "Let's see if the first act as Marotta's president is what he said when he was general manager for Juventus, when he said that Inter should give up on the Scudetto that they were awarded for being third on the field, on the pitch. Okay, so let's see if now that he's the president of the other team, okay, of the third team in Milan, let's see what he's gonna do. So it's gonna be fun, no?
I'm curious actually to see how. I mean, his strength is building teams. All right, his strength is building teams. He has a financial acumen that a lot don't have. So now that he's president, his hands are gonna be busy with a lot of other stuff. I'm curious to see how he's going to evolve within Inter, like that part. Who's going to handle the transfers and building the team? Sure, they're gonna ask him this and that, but it's not gonna be his full-time now job. So I think that will be interesting.
I mean, wasn't he kind of already president? I mean, Zhang was nowhere to be found, so I don't know that he's.
Well, he's in jail.
I mean, hopefully to your maybe, hopefully to your point, it spreads him thin and it keeps him from being able to do the other parts of his job well. But I don't know. I don't really see it as changing all that much, to be honest with you.
Mauro, you want to have some fun, or you want to move to the next topic?
I mean, certainly is a capable manager. I agree with David that I think he was already the de facto president, and as Giulio said, he's financially able. And if there is one thing that Inter needs right now, is somebody that can fix the finances, because Oaktree, I don't think that they're gonna stand for uncontrolled spending. So I'm very curious to see how they're going to restructure their debts and
they have a very strong board. I don't know if you guys saw it. Today I went and looked one by one who is on the board. It's very strong, the people that are there. Very competent people. Like half of them work with Oaktree. The other half is like strong. Actually, all of them have strong financial background, like very strong, capable, diverse people. I think they built a very strong board.
The one thing that I'm wondering is because, Oaktree is a fund, and it would be interesting to see if they follow the Milan model or if they follow a different model, because AC Milan, when Redbird or Elliott got in, they wanted net income, and it showed. They sold Tonali, they used the Moneyball tactic to buy players that they were fairly unknown. So it's a different outlook than what Inter certainly had, which was just leverage and gain debt and buy players.
That's why I'm saying it's interesting to see what Marotta is going to do now. Because what Marotta did with us, what Marotta has been doing with Inter is like renewing a very high salaries, certain players, right? I don't think Oaktree is going to sign off on that kind of like strategy anymore, so it's going to be interesting to see what's going on. And most likely, thinking how smart Marotta is going to delegate somebody, and then if things go wrong, at least he has a scapegoat instead of being just on him. It's going to be on him because he's the president, but like that's why I think there's going to be something changing there.
I don't know. It would be interesting. I don't care. They renew Lautaro's contract, they renew Barella contract. Is now to see that what they're going to do right now, because for sure that they need to find some money, but it's not our issue. And honestly, we know that somehow they're gonna be helping some way. I don't know what they can do more than that, but we know that if you think that the president of the Senate is an Inter fan and he wanted to be like a minister of sport just to relegate Juventus, that speak a lot about that. So, and
well, I mean, what did Rocky say today? He said that there was only one bad call all season, and that was the penalty for that they didn't give against Bologna. So.
Yeah, in a game where there was two clear penalty for us, they're gonna okay. So don't get me started. So let's start talking about us, guys. So are we gonna assume that Thiago Motta is the new coach, right?
Yes,
I hope so. At this point,
everybody someone is expecting a surprise.
I mean, it will be a surprise for real. Like, so I hope not. At this point, I'm concerned about the surprise. So let's stick with it.
Okay. So people look kind of worried because they haven't signed him yet, and then they forget that a lot of teams still are without coach right now. So, and Thiago Motta is enjoying his vacation, and it looks like the latest rumor say that he's gonna sign next week. Okay, so I'm honestly not worried. I'm happy he's gonna be the coach. Honestly, I'm kind of time that I'm waiting for things to happen, you know. But even if anybody already said that Thiago Motta will play like this or like that, 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, when people forget that first we don't know who we're gonna keep, second we don't know who we're gonna get, and third, if people forget that Thiago Motta at La Spezia play with a defense line of three man. So we'll see. So the rumors say that Di Gregorio is a done deal. Okay. So 2 million for the loan plus 18 million for with option to buy 18 million, but basically it's like the obligation that is going to be it's going to click when Juventus is going to make the first point after February. Okay, so I guess we're able to make like 1 point in the 20 games, right? So, and so is everybody happy with Gregorio, or we have someone else in his mind? And you think it's gonna be the starting goalie, so that means that Tech is gonna leave, or Perini is gonna leave?
No, it's gonna happen what happened with Tech and Buffon. Di Gregorio is gonna be the second of Tech for the next year, and then next year Tech's contract is going to expire, and Di Gregorio is gonna take over. Probably Di Gregorio is gonna play Coppa Italia. You know what Perin did this year. I think Perin is the one actually leaving.
So you think Perin is leaving?
I think so. I think so because, I mean, I really doubt that Tech is leaving at this point. I mean, if he's leaving right now, then it will be for free, just so they can unload the salary. You know, I don't think so. To your first question, I don't see any really strong prospect in terms of goalies that have been like, whoa. Actually, Di Gregorio has been one of the most consistent this year. So I think it's the best choice from a prospect point of view. I mean, Carnesecchi did well some games, other not. You know, what's his name? The one that went to Tottenham was a really good.
My question was because there is really rumors. Sorry, but I need to say that. I'm gonna post this. And okay, because there is even a stronger rumor that Tech might be the one leaving. Okay, today they were saying that he had a couple of offers, one for Saudi Arabia that I don't think he's gonna accept, even if it's like a shitload of money. Okay, there was another one, I think, for Everton, and the other
not gonna go to Everton. I don't believe it.
The other rumor that's gonna run, and we're gonna treat it like a rumor, is like for Thiago Motta, Di Gregorio is a starting goalie. So I don't care, okay, because I think Tech is a reliable goalie. Is the best one? No, but he's a reliable. The problem that I have with Tech is his wage. Okay, but something that really I wanna that need to be clear is that it needs to be clear who is the starting goalie. There's not to be a competition between the goalie. Okay, let's say it's the Gregorio and Tech. Okay, the Gregorio is a starting goalie. Tech will play, or the opposite. Tech will play the Coppa Italia and some Serie A game.
I don't agree with that.
I don't
agree.
That's
I'll tell you why.
I'll
tell you why. Yeah. It's like if you say, I want to know from the beginning if Chiesa is starting or Yildiz is starting.
To me, it's different. The goalkeeper position is different.
It shouldn't be. People should earn. No, people should earn.
It's an opinion.
You know, of course. My opinion is like they should earn to be the starting goalie, not just the name. Like any other player, if you're sacking, you're making mistakes, you sit down and the other one plays. You know, there shouldn't be this starting. I mean, he's paid $6.5 million. I don't feel bad if he's going to sit a couple of games. Why would I feel bad if he deserves to be sitting? I don't care. It's going to cost us $6.5 million no matter what. It's the other one. So that to me is like irrelevant. And also don't believe anything that they're saying. Thiago Motta is the Gregorius starting goalie. He doesn't like Chiesa. I don't believe any of it.
I agree a little more with that. With it. Mauro, what do you think? Do you like a competition between goalie, or do you think it needs to be clear? Unless, of course, there is a series of like a mistake by the goalie. Of course, in that case, you're gonna have a change.
I am more aligned with you on this one, Matteo, because I think goalkeeper needs confidence, and I believe historically having two number ones, I'm not sure if it ever really fully worked. My beef with Szczesny is that, unlike Perin, as far as I remember, although he played a lot less, Szczesny, when he's not in the right day, he commits so many mistakes that they do cost points. And for the salary he has, I would have rather kept Perin than him.
David?
Yeah, I mean, I think Di Gregorio is a solid option, right? So I think going back to the first question of do we like Di Gregorio or not, right? I think he's a good option. He solves an issue that we have now before it becomes a potential problem next year. The formula with it being a loan deal with an obligation to buy means it costs us a little bit less this year when we, obviously have other areas where we need to spend money on. But again, it addresses what could be a potential future problem. And, it depends on, especially if you can get Szczesny out and remove that salary, then it's a great move, right? And then in terms of, who should be number one, who should be number two, whether it matters. I mean, I think I don't know if you need to know on day one necessarily, but I think at some point that works itself out, and one way or another you're going to know who that number one is, right? And whether it's Szczesny or Perin or no, probably not Perin, but whether it's Szczesny or Di Gregorio.
Okay.
I
mean, I think I leave that stuff up to the coach, I guess.
Okay, let's tackle the. Let's say we are 2-2, I guess, yeah, but we need to tackle the elephant in the room right now. All right, guys. So, Chiesa, is he staying? Is he going? Is he going to renew? And I want to be complete about something, because I love that everybody was on Chiesa's side against Allegri. I'm sorry, I need to say that, okay? And when everybody was making fun because the people were saying that he was playing bad because Allegri was playing too much defensive style, okay? And now the Motta is a punter coach, okay? And people start to say, and like we say, it's just a rumor, as Giulio was saying, okay? And he doesn't like how Chiesa move on the pitch. He doesn't like how he defend when it's time to defending, okay? And all of a sudden, the narrative turn, and maybe a lot of Juventus fans accept the idea of Chiesa leaving. To me, that is amazing, okay? I already said probably in the previous episode, I hope Chiesa is going to stay. I'm still on the Chiesa side, and you guys, so you know that I'm always wrong. Okay, I would like to see him renewing. I don't think he deserves more money than what he's going to get. He's getting right now. Even like a 1 year proof deal. Okay, I'm going to be fine with that. Okay, because at this time, I don't think you're going to sell him for a lot of money. The only offer that it looks like we receive from him is basically inquiries from Roma and Napoli. I haven't heard the Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester City asking him. So, what do you guys think?
Two things. One, I will never believe that a coach, before seeing a player, how he trains, how he's moving,
cutting
whatever.
On the fun. It's all the fun about that.
Hang on. I will never believe he says I don't like him. All right. So I want that out of the way, honestly. The second thing is, I don't have a strong feeling, meaning like I hate Chiesa, I want it out. Actually, if I have to choose, I would like to see him another year, see how it does. One condition, I would hate for him to be sold to an Italian team and play against us. So sure, if an English team comes with 50 million, 60 million, and you need to sacrifice somebody, and now Chiesa is going to be the one on the altar, all right. Okay, I would prefer not to, at least for next year. But I think it's going to be Giuntoli's call, not Thiago Motta's call. But I would like for him to see what it does next year, fully recover from the injury, new coach, maybe different system. So I'm on board with keeping him. For now, I'm supporting him.
Yeah,
Mauro?
I mean, I think.
Oh, David,
I think.
go on, David.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I think. I think it would be good to see him another year. I hope he does stay. But I think the question that doesn't really get asked is, does Chiesa want to be here? Right? I mean,
where does he want to go in Italy?
I don't know. I think he wants to go to whoever's going to pay him a lot of money. Because at the end of the day, right? I mean, he's supposedly asking for a raise now. Who knows if that's true or not? But, we've been trying to renew him forever, and he hasn't renewed. And even if he does renew, it sounds like at most it's going to be a 1-year renewal. So you're going to be in this same position a year from now. Right. Having to determine, and, maybe he has a great Euro, has a great season, and we can sell him for more. But he's still going to be a year from the end of his contract at that point. Right. And so my question is really, is this where he wants to be? Because, I think we need players that want to be here, no matter how good they are. Right.
We haven't seen this player competing for something the whole season. That's why, I don't know, maybe something will click. For now, they start competing.
Maybe, but I mean, there's a lot of challenges with Chiesa, I think. Right. I think, we've talked about it before. He definitely has limitations to his game, right? He's not a perfect player because, to Matteo's point, if he was, I don't think there would be any shortage of offers for him right now. Where, to your point, I haven't heard of any real offers for him.
Could be a strategy.
Well, the other thing I was wondering is all this talk about Thiago Motta not wanting him and not liking him, is that just a strategy to try to pressure him to sign his renewal?
It could all be at this point. I wouldn't be surprised.
But anyway, I mean, I think, to your point, I think if we're going to sell him abroad, and if he leaves, I'm not going to be happy about it, but I'm not going to lose sleep about it, right? I mean,
but still, you haven't heard any team from abroad wanting him.
I mean, you hear things, but nothing concrete, right? You hear, Liverpool might be interested, but it's never, there's nobody knocking at the door with a bag of money.
Now, the real question is, if for real Napoli wants it and puts on the table, they were talking about Di Lorenzo, which we need, a left back, a right back, whatever it is, plus money, right? So the money that we want for Chiesa, would you do it? Would you do something like that?
How much money?
Let's say we want 50 million, so 30 million and Di Lorenzo, something like that, whatever. 35. Let's say the 50 million. Would you do it? Would you do it to Napoli with Conte there and Manna there?
I'm gonna think about that. I don't know, Mauro.
My concern for Chiesa is, from historical context, I do remember one of the few, I think, useful wiretaps that came out when they investigated us. There was a conversations of Juventus managers complaining about Chiesa's agents, that they kept going asking for more money. To me, the fact, as David was saying, that he hasn't renewed yet, to me is just another indication that that's a problem to me. I don't know if he wants to stay here. It seems very much interested in money, as probably, everybody should. But as far as how he's going about it, that worries me. I don't know if a new coach could teach him how to be less selfish on the pitch, because a lot of times, even this year, I felt that he was playing by himself, not passing the ball when he should have. And candidly, I mean, that's just personal opinion. He seemed to be the least approachable players, even to the fans, when he came to the
That's
US.
a fact. That's a fact.
So
you're saying get rid of the problem while you can.
Yeah, character-wise, I don't know if he's a good man for the locker room either. I mean, as I said, these are just conjectures, but I would be on the side of selling him, because I don't think he's going to renew. And rather than seeing what PSG has lost with Mbappe, I'd rather sell him today with maybe not a ton of income, but still something.
Fair enough. So the other topic that I had is is Rabiot, that I was so happy that he was considered gone. Now it looks like is the first request Thiago Motta had is the renewal of Rabiot. Okay, so I already talked about that many times. Okay, it's always the same thing. Rabiot is can be an elite player. Yes, he has all the athletic tool. Okay, to be. He has a technical skill because if you want, he can play soccer. He should have done several times. Latest time it was like in the Coppa Italia final. But we know that at least for half of the times. And he is a player that is always available. That is definitely a plus, especially in a season when we're going to have a lot of games. Okay, but in 5 years that he's with us, he play completely one season if you put all together. So are we? And if we sign him again, renew him, it's probably going to be at least a 2-year deal, okay, for the money that he's going to get right now, or around the money he's going to get right now. So it's going to be 7.5 million euro, okay. So it's a lot of money, even if like there is like the tax credit in our favor. I would change the chapter. Turn the page in with Rabiot. I have no idea what they're still talking. I don't know, because maybe Rabiot doesn't have many offer. Okay, but I would like to see him gone, honestly. So I don't know what is your take about it? I'm gonna start with Mauro now.
I mean, Rabiot last year scored double-digit goal and obviously did, I think, probably his best season at Juventus. If we re-sign him, yes, it should be for more than 1 year. I would like to see him with a playmaker aside with him, like Fagioli or another playmaker, just to see what he does, what his duty is. Because right now, as Moggi often said, he brings the ball for like 40 meters because there is nobody that starts the play. I think with a playmaker on his side, I do believe he could be effective. And maybe keeping him, we may not need to spend money on 2 midfielders. I would probably give him another chance with a playmaker on his side.
Fair. David?
I think we've seen and we know that if Rabiot is your best midfielder, it's not going to work, right? So if you can pair him with another couple of quality midfielders, then I think he's a great player to have. I mean, I think I'm kind of with you. At one point, I would have assumed that he was going to be gone. But then they put this offer in front of him that I think probably surprised even him. I don't know. I mean, again, I think there's the link between Rabiot and Motta, right, from their PSG days, and so hopefully, he can do something with that. I mean, to me, I don't know. To me, right now, it's really hard to judge a lot of our players, right? Not all of them. There's some that definitely need to be sent out the door, but there's a lot that I think just need a change of scenery, right? And that change of scenery could be just the coaching change going in. Again, not putting blame on anybody, but it would be interesting to see what these guys look like under this new coaching staff and see, if it makes a difference, and see if the different training is going to make a difference, and strategy and all that. Again, I think, if you're going to bring on some other quality midfielders, I think he's a good person to have on the team. If he's your best one, I think you're in trouble.
Yep. Fair point. Well, let's say everybody think that Fagioli is going to be a key player next year, so you're a quality player. So as we many times we say with Giulio, the problem per se is not Rabiot or Locatelli. The problem is Rabiot and Locatelli together. And if you even add McKennie in the mix, maybe that's going to be more so. Giulio, what you close?
Yeah, I
close
think what Mauro was saying about Chiesa fully applies to Rabiot. Last year, everybody was like, when he renewed, he showed like attachment to the colors. I was pissed because he was just shopping around, and in the end, nothing that he wanted happened, and he stayed. Okay, that's plain and simple. So He wants to stay? Great. He needs to commit to the project 3 years minimum, not 2, 3. Okay. He's 29. He's at his peak. So 3 years is great. He's always fit. He's a bull. He can play when he wants to play. So I don't have any problem. Okay. Plus, we have the tax break. So even if the salary is high, it's okay. Could be a problem with players that eventually is going to start shining and seeing him making 7.5 million. But that's a different thing. So it's either all in or that's the door. Like, I need to wait. Let me see. I'll let you know mid-June. I already kick him out. Already, I'm waiting again. It's like, no, I need to know for 48 hours. Otherwise, you're out. We don't need this, So that's where I stand with Rabiot.
I think I like this thing. At least we have so many things to fix. At least let's say at least one thing is done with this. So yeah. Honestly, I'm curious because we hearing so many voices going around, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's tiring. Honestly, the Euro is just gonna start. Can we talk about the national team a little bit? And every day there is like new player come out, and then you see a done deal between Juventus and Di Lorenzo. They already reached an agreement. Yes, now Juventus need to deal with De Laurentiis. So it's not a done deal because Juventus dealing with De Laurentiis basically is like all of us dealing with mother-in-law. So probably it's not going to be so easy, And
I was going to say, sorry, don't discount the relationship between Giuntoli and De Laurentiis. I know De Laurentiis likes to pretend like. No, I think they have a better relationship than he likes to let on. De Laurentiis is a showman, right? And anybody who's been around Napoli long enough knows that he likes to put on a show for the fans, but then what he does behind the scenes is something completely different, right? When he comes out and says, "Hey, none of our players are for sale," what he means is, let me know what your price is and I'll tell you which ones you can buy, right? So I don't know. We'll see.
So
sorry.
No. Good point. And so there's so many voices, and we see now Calafiori, Cop Miners, Ederson. The last couple of days is this Douglas Luiz that personally I didn't know. I was trying to document myself, and it looks like it's a player that eventually will take a Locatelli spot. But in that case, is Locatelli going to be sold, or is going to be like a bench player? Who knows? And then Zirkzee, that I think has nothing real, that rumor, because at the moment we have 5 striker and so I think we are fully equipped. So of all the rumor going around, all the voices, there is someone that you will like, definitely, that we need to grab the player, we need to sign that player, or we still gonna wait for the Morata and the Berardi voices to come around. That actually they already come around. You already know that. Right. So go, Julius. So I start with you.
No, I mean, I don't think actually we're fully equipped up there. You said we're fully equipped. I don't think we are. Keane is inadequate.
Keane is still there.
Keane, yeah, it's still there. I mean, we have people with 2 legs that can run.
That's the problem.
Sure, that's different than being adequate. So that guy's got it. No need to go. It was gone, so they made the miracle happen, and they reversed it. That I've never seen. When a miracle happens, doesn't go back. They managed to the 360, so 180. So I do think we need to do something up there with 5 competitions, and Milik, when he's fit, is good, but is he gonna be fit the whole season? I don't know. So we need to get something up there. So Zirkzee, whatever his name is, like, I wouldn't mind him actually. I wouldn't mind him. Of those names, like, I wouldn't mind him. And Calafiori, Cop Miners, like, I don't like overpaying players that performed in teams that have a particular style of playing, have a that kind of approach to the players, develop them for a year or 2 and sell them their peak. I don't like it. And it's too easy. It's like what we did with De Ligt. Buy this player that was being great for 80 million, and then nothing. I'd much rather get in something else. So if I had to choose of the rumors, Calafiori for sure, maybe Xerxes if they can make room for him. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Mauro?
I don't think it's been a name associated, but I would still want to buy Luis Alberto.
I think he's going to Saudi Arabia,
Saudi
right?
somewhere. Yeah.
That's the latest I heard. I know you already said that. So, but you were hearing a lot of names here in the midfield. So,
Kefren Turam would be the one that I want to buy.
have you ever seen him play? Because personally, I never seen him play, and I don't follow Ligue 1, so it's not.
And there is a reason. So, just saying.
No, everybody says he's a great player. Everybody says he's super young because I think he's 20, 21. I think I don't even know if he's already.
I feel he's another Rabiot, that kind of player, strong box to box, but still doesn't fill the void. So
Koop Miners, Calafiori, Ederson, the other name you're hearing, nothing that catch your attention. Mauro? No?
No, I mean, as I said, Thuram is the one that I would like because I figured that with allegedly Fagioli in the middle, if he's the playmaker, is very light. I rather have two on both sides that could stop opponents, especially if you play with three strikers. I wouldn't mind to have two Rabiots in the middle.
Good point.
David, all the name you just think that they need to the newspaper need to price something.
Well, I mean, we all know how the mercato works, right? You hear a million names, and it's like, Juve is one of those teams that if you don't get mentioned being associated to Juve, then your agent's not doing a good job, right? So I think, to me, the name that probably makes the most sense, at least out of the gate, is Calafiori. I mean, I think that's a position that we have a big need for, and he had a great season last year, and a lot of times with these players, to Giulio's point, where you have players that are kind of emerging from maybe a smaller market team, it's a little bit of a gamble, but you're also bringing the coach over as well, right? So I think that's what makes it a little bit more.
He's priced at the right price, at least.
Yeah, that too, right?
Crazy.
I think and I think the other concern is always, buying players from Atalanta, because they never seem to perform well after they leave there. So while Koop Miners has been a great player for the last few years, he's very expensive and
too expensive, maybe.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
And I'm worried about what he's going to be when he actually gets here.
So yeah, look, Calafiori, I think at this point I would love to get Calafiori. Okay, I think he's like a really modern player. I like his style of play, and I still have no idea because we need to get rid of. So gradually, we are gonna sell somebody. I have no idea what they're still gonna do with Bremer, because I still think that if somebody's coming with 70 million for Bremer is gone, and I'm at least I'm not the one that's gonna cry for that. Yeah, I know, Giulio, I know you too. So the question I have for you, because it's like especially after Scalvini got injured in the last game against Fiorentina, is what you will like to do with Huijsen. And personally, I think it can be the next big thing. The problem, and it looks like, and it's not probably him, it's probably his entourage, okay, that they already think that right now is the big thing. So he still doesn't have more to learn. He already knows everything. So are you willing to sell him now because the price is is between 30 and 35 million?
Yes.
Okay. And you want to put in a deal with Atalanta or Borussia Dortmund? So Giulio, you will sell him right now because you don't like the attitude. So you will get rid of him right now. So
yes, this is one of those players that either gets the money once or goes at the end of contract and leaves like that. is the one that is in the locker room player, is the one that needs to play, otherwise makes he's already nobody, already has made problems. So if
Well, plus if you can get that kind of money for a player who's completely unproven,
right, 35 million, another one.
You have
Bremer
to
here and Hausen here, and then it's like for sure, like him for sure, 35 million for 35 million. Yeah, when we say we're building a team,
you have a point.
When we're saying we're building a team, we're saying we're building a team. We're talking about locker room too. We don't have senators. We don't have people so we don't need that shit from a kid that is 19. Is no one. He could be good, but he's no one. I mean, he's played a few games in Roma, and a couple of his screwed them up also. So, I mean, it's no one.
Mauro?
Yet.
I do remember that, it was supposed to go to Frosinone. That's what Giuntoli agreed, and then he made that deal fall apart. So I can't imagine that he has a lot of credit with the current management just because of that. And he made, it seemed to make a lot of extra effort to be very much pro-Roma. I get it was on loan, but to me, it made more attitude and gestures and communications happy to be in Roma than I would have expected. Combination of these two,
to be fair, you have coach like Mourinho come and grabbing you and wanting you, and I'm not gonna judge him, okay? But the reality is, like you guys, all of you say, that he played the first 2-3 games with Mourinho, basically with De Rossi. I think he played probably here and there some minutes, but in the last month, I think he didn't even play 1 minute. And I think in the last game, he wasn't even called it wasn't even in the squad. So it looks like on the only romantic one that would like to keep him. But you guys are right. 30-35 million for an unproven player are like, for us at this moment, are a lot. And maybe selling would mean like we can keep Sule. That honestly, he is a player that I would like to keep. Really, I would like to keep because he's a 2003 that he scored like a lot of penalties, but still like he scored a 10-11 goal with Frosinone, and he has a lot of assists, dribbling. His numbers are unbelievable actually. So I wouldn't get rid of him because I think like a player like him is easier to find a Huijsen than finding like a Sule. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I would keep Sule, especially for what you just mentioned, the penalties, because this year I think it's shown that we don't have a penalty striker. Vlahovic, I think he missed 3.
Well, but we never get. We don't get penalty in Italy, so.
Well, we got 4 at least, and he missed them, so we may get him just for the penalties. It's not bad to have.
Well, the thing is, like, if we're getting Calafiori, then I would sell him. All right. So that's my point. If I'm getting Calafiori and they give me 30 million for him, I'm gonna sell him. Then is it easy to find the center backs that are strong? It's not even that easy that either. There are a lot of these half players like Sule. We've seen a million coming and going actually at Juventus. So, but at least I likes the humility. I likes the effort that Sule puts. He never a word out of place, smile on his face. Like, I mean, we need this. We don't need drama. We have had so much drama in the past years. We can't have any more.
No, sorry, David. I'll let you go. Let you talk right now. Yes, you said a good thing, Giulio, but you don't fight center back like in the tree, like that grew up in the trees. Like, but think about that. Real Madrid just won the Millions Champions League, and the center back was Nacho. So I would like to say, and Inter dominated in Italy, and his center back was Acerbi. So the point is going to try. We had like the best defense for probably 5 or 6 years. Okay, and we see that we were now able to get what we really wanted, right? And maybe I'm not saying that right, okay? But so I would like to keep like probably an offensive player and then a defensive player. I don't know. That's what I want to try to say.
Right, but like the reason why Real Madrid and who said Inter won, it's not because of Bachetti, because they have strong midfields.
Yeah,
that support the defenders.
Correct.
You know,
correct.
and we don't. I mean, Bremer could be maybe one of the strongest defenders, but like they've exposed these weaknesses. You know, when I say they, I said midfielders to a level of. I mean, it was almost uncomfortable sometimes seeing him moving around. So, you know, we'll see. I mean, it's a little tricky with all this. You know, we do need, who was Billo said, 2 players per role. So if we're playing with 4-3-3, I think we need all of them. We need Chiesa, we need Ildiz, and we need Sule. We need all of them with all these competitions. We need like Vlahovic and somebody else, if not 2 more. And then whoever is there and meets. So, I mean,
David?
I'm not against keeping Hausen, but if they come with 30 million, which I think they don't, I think it's going to be less than that, I will sell them.
Yeah, I think Sule is another one that's a little bit tricky, right? Because I think to your point, if he stays, I'm not going to be upset if he stays. But on the other hand, I think he's a player that is at that peak of where you should sell him, right? Because what it was that Moggi always used to say, right? You'd rather sell a player a year too soon than a year too late, right? And I think Sule is. I think he's kind of shown you what he is, and he did it in a context that was not Juve, right? Because he wasn't able to do the same stuff at Juve, which obviously got more playing time at Frosinone and all that. But you know, doing it in the context of Frosinone is not the same as doing it with us. And I don't know if there's any guarantee that he's going to take that next step when he comes here, because as well as he played at Frosinone, that's not enough for what we need from him here. So I think it's one of those players where, again, I think he's right at that peak point to sell him. So if you can get 35, 40, whatever, you know, they're talking about for him,
You will get it.
it's kind of hard to pass that up, especially when we, again, need that money for other areas of the pitch.
We'll see. But look, everybody will say that after the Coppa Italia final, we would like to see some things happening. And honestly, we are still waiting for the announcement of the coach. Okay, we have we're gonna get rid of this player, this 35 players. We're gonna get, and okay, yes, it's June 5, it's just 5th in Italy, but yeah, we haven't seen one player gone, and we didn't get one player. So I don't know. We'll see. So guys, we are top of the hour over here. So and honestly, I need to go, so I would like to say thank you to all of you, okay? And that's it. So that was fun, okay? So thank you to talk with us, and see 2 of you on Saturday on our picnic. Okay, so have a good night. Guys, want to say anything?
Forza Juve.
Perfect as it is. And Andy said the 2 words needed. That's it.
Except Julia didn't explain to us this time how you pronounce the name of the team.
You know, I'm monitoring the internet, and people are learning. So now I'm gonna do it like on as needed basis.
All right. It's with an I, right?
It's with an I.
Rino, congratulations again. Your baby is amazing. Okay, thank God you look like mommy. Okay. Bye, guys. Have fun, and always fino alla fine.
Forza Juve.
Bye.